Hello, time to continue here. We are doing the posing. So, bam. See, the before and after, before and after. We're going to design each one of these poses and put the character, the rig on top of this. For example, here on this one, I already have the design of the character here. So I just have to find this layer, which is this crowd layout. And I'm going to bring this layer towards the front so I can trace with my rig. That's it, just tracing with my rig. Bam. I think it's on the front right now. And then, where's my rig? Where's my rig? Bam. Oops, it's not in front. Wait. I'm selecting this layer and bringing all of this. Oh, it was locked. And bring all of this forward. Bam, 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 bam. Boom, see? Now that everything is moved forward, I can take the rig. Well, first, let me reduce the opacity of this a bit. Awesome, and then I can take the rig and pose on top of this. Cool, let's go. Okay, let me block this. Look at the mouth. Behind, bam. So I'll put this here. I can squash all of this. It is very important to just get rid of this fear of messing up with the rig, just destroying everything around, because it's just a rig, it's just a puppet. You can do whatever you want with this. For example, here I'm trying to trace with the rig all the lines that I drew here on this character. See? There you go. The glasses also will follow that. Bam. Boom. What is this? The pupil? I don't need it. What the heck is this? I don't need this neither. Bam. Eyebrow move here. Piercing, I can move around here, so I can move this hair a bit up to create a better silhouette with that. Then I can take the deformers and move this around. This part of the, I don't know what the heck is this, I will turn this way so it feels more in perspective, more rounded. And let me move this arm temporarily there so I can focus on the body. The body will be behind this. The booty, we are not seeing the booty, get out of here. It's just tracing on top of the rig. So many times I tried. Ooh, I can't control myself. So what if you can see the darker side of me? So many times I tried. So we have this pose in this pose. Cool. Let's go back, and I don't want to pose that one. I want to leave that one by the end. Let's pose. That's funny. Where's the rough pass? Ah, the rough pass is there. Cool. Let's pose this one. And this will be interesting because I have to design this pose. So let's enable the design layer and let's do some cool drawings. Let me use my favorite TOON brush, which is marker number 2. And the box that is going to be is going to have the character inside is going to be something like this. So I am eyeballing the construction of this box, and then I'm going to try to find a way of connecting this box with the perspective grid that I drew before. So for example, I can connect these lines with this vanishing point over here. While these other lines, I will not be able to connect with the actual vanishing points because I will have to draw another one over here and point it over here, but I can just eyeball that thing. Same thing as this one, but the vanishing point will be down. So too much work. I will just use the vanishing points from that side to still make the character feel that it's part of this background. So cool. And from here, super easy as copying and reusing these lines, so I'll make sure everything is following that perspective. Eyeballing that. This will be a bit lower. There you go. So this is the box that the character will exist within, and now I can work on top of this as a reference. Bam. Lower the opacity, and now if I have to draw the character, This is the head. I can start wherever I want, to be honest. This is the funny part. This is where we become designers and start playing around. Bam. This is the side plane. This is the eye view, the A angle. Bam. Center here. So the ear will be connected here. The yaw will be here. The neck. Oh wait. Wait. Be cool if we have this angle, so it follows the box. We have this angle here, and we have this angle here. So if I transform this into a curve, it will be something like this. Now all of this character will be something like this. One lining all of this, maybe, yes. The body. Like booty. So this is going to go that way. Booty there. These shoes will follow this line here. And these legs will be aligned to this line here. Bam. So this could be a bit lower. Bam. Awesome. And then we have the arms. This is the side plane. This will be bigger. And the arms will be something like this. A simple C. Awesome. Cool. Let's pose the character on top of this. This is enough for me to start posing the character, and then I can design on top of this if needed again. Growing the head. Moving the head. And tilting everything towards the perspective that I established. So see, for example, I don't even care too much about the rig that I flip the torso because it will be easier for me. All of these deformers are already pointing towards the direction that I want them to go instead of having to inverse everything. Henry, but what is going to happen when you start treating all of this? I'll figure it out later. But I want to have full control of the poses. Oopsie. I never rely on Toon Boom to give me perfects in between. Okay, the arms get away from here for a second. See, for example, the proportions of the ruff here with the legs were bigger than the actual rig. So what I'm going to do right now is don't give a fuck about that and just translate the information of the ruff to the rig. That's it. Can I copy the leg to the other one? Let's see. If I was so smart to clone these legs. Bam, bam, bam. Oopsie. Yeah. So, time to pose. Dude, my eye was moving. I was doing like this, tac, 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 tac. Dying. Okay, I have to make this more clear because you have this line here, then this line here, then this line here. It'll be beautiful if I have all of this more simplified into single line. Wow. Cool, there you go, we have the pose. Great. This ear shouldn't be shown here. Awesome. Levitating, Ramon is levitating, bam, bam, and then from here we go there, bam. Okay, I have to design that pose. I think I posted that on a previous video, but I delete all of that thing. Okay, cool. Time to post again. Oh yeah, I have the draw over here. Amazing. I just have to trace on top. Let's go. See why I'm using the perspective grid here as a reference for where is this shoes going to be aligned. Beautiful. Look at this curve. It's all the pose here and see curve this way. Bam, 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 bam. See? So I'm going to add all the deformers are going to be aligned in that way. Let's go. I need a super rounded booty here. Let's keep that for now. Oh no, this goes the other way. Fuck. Okay guys, I'm going to stop here and coming back in the future. Henry from the theater here. Let's continue. So, we have these poses here. Bam, 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 bam. Almost done, dude. The animation is almost done. So I was working on this one. Is if I remember correctly. Yeah, look at that neck, awful neck. And here I can start moving stuff faster. I can just hide that neck over there. Bam. This is going to be super fast. That the pose, the way it is right now, will work. Bam. Cool. So amazing. We have this. Bam, 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 bam. Here on this one, I can reuse. I can reuse this pose from here to here, and just do something like this. Because here I'm not showing the body, just the legs, and the legs will be aligned differently. So I might have to create a new drawing for the shoes. Bam, 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 bam. The Killers, guys, amazing band. So how a shoe? Let me draw everything. So here will be something like this. Bam, 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 bam. Boom. So the shoe will be something like this. It was only a guess. Can't look, it's killing me. I'm taking control. I'm going to pause here for a second to show you how beautiful is this. It's super simple, but it's beautiful. Look at this. This is a C curve. It's just one line from here to here. This is a C. This is how simple everything should be. And then from here we have a straight line, almost with a little curviness here in the center, but this is another C. Here we have another C. Here we have another C, but it's almost a straight. Here we have a straight, and then we combine that straight with a subtle S. With a subtle S. Look at this little tail here, and then boom, into a C. It's a subtle S. And then from here to here we have another C, C, a straight, and the way that I put these straights was not like this, neither like this. I push these straights, this should push a little bit like that. So this is creating this type of shapes, which are dynamic shapes instead of creating these symmetrical shapes. These dynamic shapes makes all of your poses feel more alive. All the energy that exists inside of these shapes will flow outside of here. Here, the energy will be stuck. So let's go. Bam, bam, bam. I just can't look. It's killing me. I'm taking control. I'm going to copy what I did here on the design layer to keep everything more organized. Bam. And then following the perspective grid, which is this, I'll put this here. I'm Mr. Brightside. I'll never, I'll never, I'll never, I'll never. Beautiful song. So bam, all of this, let me color this with black. Well, bam, there you go. Cool. Where's the window? Where's the window? Let me move all of this a little bit over here. So I'm going to grab everything right now and just trace with the rig and create new drawings if needed. Oh boy, boy, a man. Oh boy. Smile like you mean it. Smile like you mean it. Time to roll out the shoes. Oh no, oh no, no, no. Oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 no. Breaking my back just to know your name. Bring it back, bring it back down to 9. Oh, oh. Somebody told me you got a boyfriend that looks like a girlfriend that I had in February of last year. It's not confidential, I got potential. So here I'm seeing the shoes could be a little bit smaller compared to the rough pass that I did. And boop, moving the stuff around, got it. And then as I drew this on one layer, this will appear on the other one. Cool. And then I just move this around until I match the draw over that I did. That's why it's so important to draw this, or to have this design pass, so we avoid eyeballing stuff until something match, but instead we know where we're going with all of this stuff. Bam. Ooh, I got potential, rushing around. Cool, so that's it. I can take all the upper body and I don't need this neither. Cause I just don't know now, no, baby. So here, all of this will disappear on the layout inside of the background that I'll have soon, someday, soon. It's not confidential, what got potential, rushing around. Tell me if you got a boyfriend that looks like a girlfriend that I had in February of last year. It's not confidential, what got potential, rushing around. Somebody told me you got a boyfriend that looks like a girlfriend that I had in February of last year. It's not confidential, what got potential, rushing around. Bam. Boom, legs ready. That's it. Oh, this pose. One more song. Bam. If you can hold on, hold on. I need to see a rough pass. Now let's clean this. Let's make this clear. I feel all the body can be like that. Yeah, simplifying all of this stuff. I got a soul, but I'm not a soldier. I got a soul, but I'm not a soldier. But I'm not a soldier. Not a soldier. I got a soul, but I'm not a soldier. Yeah, yeah. See, for example, the penis here should be this direction, following this line. Cool? Also, same, this line shouldn't be like that, but instead should be like that. Something weird was happening there, and that was that. Awesome, that's it. The rest, I can keep it super simple as the rig is. Those is just those little details that are the game changer here. Cool, that's the pose. That's the pose, and what I'm going to do is move all of this behind the character, behind the hand of the robot. Move, move, move. Bam, there you go. So we're going from here to there, to there, to there, to there, to there. We're missing one pose. We're missing one pose. And I'm going to show you which one right now. I'm going to show you which one right now. We're missing this pose. This is important. This is a breakdown. It's how is that I go from here to here, and this will explain what is going to happen with the movement of the body in general. For example, I will select all the leg behind, and I'm going to select I'm going to copy and paste the leg that I posed already from this one, and I'm going to paste it here so I can reuse. That's why I spend more time on these key poses, because I can reuse poses. I can reuse parts of the character. This is not the best example because the leg is broken, but you'll see once we start training how we start reusing these poses to create all the in-betweens. Ah! I have some information on my rough, but the information of my rough is not matching properly the proportions of my character. So here's where I'm going to design a new pass and trying to polish stuff. For example, look at this line here and this line, this bump here. I will love everything, all of this to one line to create one single flow all the way here. And I will never be tired of showing this. Look at this cut here. Look at the butt of this cat all the way here towards the foot. How all of this is a one line. Look at the chest of this chicken all the way here towards the chest, all the way here towards the upper leg. Or for example here, this booty of this rat all the way here from the booty towards the feet. Or the cricket here in the chest all the way here towards this upper part, lower part of the pants. This is the flow of the character, and that's something that I'm trying to replicate here in this. On this, see how I am trying to one line all of this instead of being like this and like this and like this, bumps, bumps after bumps. No, bump, bump, bump. No, one line all of that, bam. One line all of that, bam. Oops, 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 oops. And I'm trying to think like if I were designing a logo. So I'm designing also the negative space between these shapes. Bam. For example, the knee, the bend of the knee will be around here. Would you let me know? Bam. And this part of the pants will be somewhere over here. So we have the torso, which is going to be like a flour sack. Imagine a flour sack like this. See? And this is the side plane. This is a flour sack, and this is the side plane. So it's the same thing that I am seeing here in the character. This is the side plane. This is the top plane. The neck will be connected here. The leg will be connected here. So I'm seeing all of that stuff, even though I'm not drawing. For most of the poses, you saw how I drew all of this, but I didn't draw all of these side planes. But inside of my head, that is what I'm seeing. Bam. If the answer is no, can I change your mind? Is no, can I change your mind? Bam. Look at that asymmetry of this index finger. We have some negative space between the thumb here and the other fingers. And I am grouping all of these shapes into one here. Bam. And I'm tapering this shape, so it's thicker here towards this side, and is thinner here towards the shoulder. And I can make this even more rounded. And here we can have this flow that could be like an S here. Bam. So I can even make this even more rounded like this. Boom. So everything flows like sham. And from here on the other side, rounded around here. Says look at the flow between the two arms, the flow between the legs. I'm considering all of that. There you go, we have a hand there. And I can even one line this hand, look at that, all the way from the pinky here. Beautiful shape. We are always designing shapes. As I mentioned in the previous video, like animation is shapes moving inside of a frame. Silhouettes, shapes moving inside of a frame. The more beautiful that we design those shapes, the better the job that we're making here. Or the clearer that we can communicate the ideas that we want to communicate. Oof, lower power mode. Bam. Ooh, my coffee might be cold already. So for the head, what is happening with the head? The head will turn that way. So here I can use the side view of the head. Cool. And that will be it. So this is the only information that I have to draw right now. I don't have to draw the entire character if I don't need to. So I'm going to pose on top of this. The rig, for example, I'll put some notes here like head side view. And then once I go to the rig, I can copy and paste the side view of the head. Or I can just do it right now so I don't forget. I'm going to... That's why I leave the turnaround. Oh, I don't know if you've noticed this, but every time that I start a new scene, what I do is grab all the turnaround of the rig and I put it over here. And I put a timestamp here to see where is that my scene ends. And after that timestamp, I put my rig. So if I need to reuse on a specific pose, I can come here and select the entire head, for example. I'm selecting all of this, and I can copy this head here. Beautiful. Bam! Cool. Awesome. Let's pose this character on top of that design pass. Let me disable the rough pass for now. Awesome. Let me block this. Cool. Now time to pose. See how clean and beautiful it is when we have a roadmap, when we have a guide of where we're going with our posing, with our rig. Bam. A line. See? A line. Oh, look at that. Look at that three-dimensionality of this stuff. See? Everything feels connected. Look, where will I put this? Here, here. See this 3D edge here? Bam! 3D. Don't be afraid of grabbing all of these pieces and skewing those things, stretching those things. Beautiful. I worked with a friend on a project, and that was very beautiful what she did. I had like this baby character when he was like walking. He literally grabbed the head and squashed the head in the lowest position, and then when he was up, he was stretching that head up, so it feels very squashy and stretchy the character. And then I did that on my project on Dogshot when I had the dog cutting the head of John. I was also in some poses grabbing the entire character and squashing the character like this, but very subtly. And those little centimeters that you move the character counts a lot. So highly recommend trying that. It adds something extra to your animations. Highly recommend it. For example, and I skew this direction because I know that the character went from this way, so I'm skewing this towards the direction that the character was coming from. It's like a drag type of exploring. It's like a way of exploring the dragging principle. The principle of dragging. What the heck is this? Ah, they are. It's getting there. See how I just flipped this piece instead of grabbing all of this and let's go the other way. Nah, I grabbed everything, flipped. I'm not afraid of breaking this shit. So for silhouette purposes, I'd rather move all of this arm behind the head just to have a better silhouette. I'm going to draw that hand right now. Beautiful design. I remember I used to be a graphic designer. Ooh, a long time ago. Dude, I remember the first time that I started to learn how to illustrate was in Adobe Illustrator. And we have this vector software that we have to design lines with the pen tool. So the lines were like this, tapering, very graphic type of style, like for t-shirts. And I remember, dude, can you? And this is a beautiful thing that I'm going to say. When I first started, I always had this amazing idea of building my own animated universe since the moment that the idea of doing animations appeared in my head. But sincerely, for me at that moment, because I started pursuing my career as a graphic designer, and then is that I pursue after I saved money and I was able to move from my country, then the idea of becoming an animator become more real. But before that, I knew that I wanted that my dream would be to be an animator and to create my own show and my own stuff. But I didn't believe it too much, like that could be real, because I'm from Ecuador and it's like, how the heck is that I'm going to make a living out of animation? Whatever. The thing is, like, for me, I remember when I presented this idea to my parents, one of the path that I imagined that will be like, okay, fulfilling, like this will be a victory for me, was designing t-shirts. Like that was the top idea that my head could imagine that I could achieve at the time. Just, you know what? If I do this, at least I can design t-shirts and I can sell t-shirts. And I remember that idea from all the ideas that I presented to my parents, because studying animation or even graphic design was crazy for them. I remember I presented the idea of making my own t-shirts brand so I can illustrate things and put it on t-shirts. The idea of making my own animated show or in working animation, and then the other was like just working as a graphic designer. The first one was a screw up in my country. It's like, graphic designer, dude, you don't want to earn anything. The other idea was like, what the heck is animation? Like, you're crazy. You want to leave this country. You're going to leave everyone. Dude, what the heck? I like the idea of the t-shirts. My dad was like, I like the idea of the t-shirts. It's like they didn't like any of those were possible, and it was like the t-shirt was the most real for them, and for me it was like, well, maybe, yeah, that's a thing, right? And right now that I'm designing these lines, I just remember all of those tutorials that I used to watch and how to illustrate it in Adobe Illustrator to be able to create illustrations, to someday put my own t-shirts, to create my own illustrations from my t-shirts. You know how far away the idea of making t-shirts is right now from what I can do, from what I believe I can do by myself, dude? It's crazy. And sometimes we don't we cannot even imagine the reality that we are able to create until we'll live it. For example, right now, maybe I'm not seeing or I cannot even visualize what is the real. Maybe right now what I'm doing right now is the same thing as my past self used to see t-shirts. Maybe the thing that I'm doing right now is the maximum thing that my mind, my heart can visualize right now. But maybe there's a Henry in the future that is living something even bigger that I cannot even imagine right now. And that's a reason to wake up. And that's a reason to be excited to do something. To find out all of those things that we are not aware of, that we cannot even imagine that we can achieve. Dude, the top thing that I could imagine when I was 18 that I could do for my life was the more realistic thing was doing illustrations for t-shirts. Right now, I'm excited. I am inspired to see what else what else is there for me. What else can I'm able to create and to manifest into this world. So keep moving forward, dude. Life is interesting. Life is interesting. Bam. Bam. Maybe I love to add these little lines here. It's like booties, little booties. That's better. Bam. So we almost have the animation here complete. And the next step will be twinning. Let me look at the rough pass to see if I have any other main pose that I should design before. I feel this one is important. Yeah, this one is important. See, so I grab all of this and I in between just to have something closer. But I'm still preserving here, for example, I'm going to start reusing stuff. I'm going to reuse the head of this pose and I'm going to add it here. Oops, no, I'm adding, okay, wait. I'm using this pose here. I'm moving this character here and I'm going to start reusing stuff. For example, the head here. You can grab this, copy, paste, oopsie. Where are you? We're here. Bam. Bam. here the legs that I have here are working. I'm trying to track the arcs of this. That's why I move these legs a few centimeters here for all of this to make an arc this way. I think I can use this arm over here instead of this arm. So see, the arm that I have here is closer to the arm that I have here, but I'd rather have the arm that is closer to this one. So I'm copy and pasting here. This is the twinning. This is how I twin all of this stuff. I'm reusing parts, and I'm using and selecting the parts that are more convenient for me, either from the right side of the timeline or the left side of the timeline. And then on top of those parts, I try to make some adjustments. I try to move some stuff around. For example, this arm, I'll like to keep the same arm of the previous pose. So bam. This leg. This leg will be this one over here. Bam. So it's dragging a little bit. It looks even more dynamic. I can make this bigger. Trying to create an arc. There you go. Awesome. The hips, I can even move the hips a bit up too. And then I'll make this a bit more rounded. I'll move a little bit more up. Cool. Now, time to design. Do you see how simple is this process? How organized is the process? I have the rough pass. I block the character. My phone storage is full. So let's finish the video here. So, see how simple is this? So on top of this, I'm going to design my pose. Oops, let me grab another color and another brush. So this will be like this. I can curve this leg a little bit more that way. All of this will be like this. That's why it's so important, the design process. So I can just trace on top. Around and around. Bam. See how I'm tapering this shape towards the top? What else? Okay, the army will keep dragging. And I'm trying to put this arm in between here, these legs, to create a better silhouette. And the better silhouette is also all of this negative space here. Bam. And the arm will be, the hand will be here. And look at how can I one line all of this and have the other arm around here. And I don't have to be super accurate right now. I'm trying to design the pose, but then on the twinning process, when I start in betweening all of this, I will start moving all of this and maybe even moving the arm here if I need to create a good spacing. But for now, I want to design this. Let me disable the rough pass for now. Also, let's pose this stuff. Same for the leg. During the twinning, if I feel like, oh, you know what, I feel like the leg should go a little bit lower, then I'll do so. For example, here, even the design pass is out of model. The leg is too long, so I can just translate the information of the rough pass here to the rig, from the design pass to the rig. Done. We have beautiful poses. We have a lot of beautiful poses. So we have bam, 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 bam. Cool? That's all we need. And then on the next video, I'm going to start twinning all of this. Other than that, the animate The animation is there, dude. The animation is there. The animation is there. Bam. We have the main poses, and the main poses already have all the feeling of movement that we're looking for. Cool. Hope you like this video, and never forget, in your life, never forget to like and subscribe. Bam.